Welcome back to Live Alive. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Liverpool Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Gravenberch'S Liverpool debut revealed. Ryan Gravenberch was a last-minute signing for Liverpool during the 2023 summer transfer window and could now make his debut this weekend. The Reds agreed to pay Bayern Munich £34 million for the midfielder, and he will be raring to go. The 21-year-old was once seen as one of the brightest prospects around but lost his way a little in Germany. Jurgen Klopp will now be hoping to get the best out of him, and with Liverpool playing Wolves this weekend live on TalkSport, Red supporters could get their first glimpse. Gravenberch has given himself the best possible chance to play at some point this weekend because he didn't leave for the international break. The midfielder was called up by the Dutch under-21s, but he told them he wanted to focus on his new club. This hasn't gone down well in his native Netherlands. Speaking to the press about Gravenberch's decision, Dutch under-21s boss Michael Reisger said, "I don't think it's a good decision. I told him that too. I really don't think it's a good decision. I know Ryan. I think he is a good boy, sympathetic boy, but he made the wrong choice." Dutch senior manager and former Everton boss Ronald Koeman also wasn't too happy. But although this could impact his international career in the short term, it will probably help his Liverpool tenure get off to a good start by choosing to stay on Merseyside. Gravenberch has given himself plenty of extra days to integrate into the team and form relationships. Despite this, it's unlikely he will start at the weekend, barring an injury. This is because two other Red signings in Alexis MacAllister and szoboszlai have started the season brilliantly, while Curtis Jones and Wataru Endo will also be scrapping for a spot in Klopp's midfield. It would be a surprise if Gravenberch doesn't make his debut at Molineux, but it's very unlikely he will start. Is Alexander-Arnold fit to play for Liverpool this weekend? Liverpool are sweating on the fitness of vice-captain Trent Alexander-Arnold for their clash against Wolves this weekend. The Reds defender has been nursing a hamstring injury during the international break that forced him to withdraw from England duty. Alexander-Arnold sustained the issue during the 3-0 win over Aston Villa and went straight down the tunnel after limping off. Speaking on the injury, Jurgen Klopp said, "I asked him and he said it's his hamstring, not too serious is his opinion, but we obviously have to wait for the scans. Then we will know more." Alexander-Arnold has since undergone the scan that ruled him out of England's 1-1 draw with Ukraine, as well as their friendly with Scotland. The 24-year-old is expected to pass a late fitness test to be included in Liverpool's away trip at Molineux. Live on TalkSport, Alexander-Arnold's scan showed that his hamstring injury was minor and he was set to be sidelined for up to 2 weeks. Klopp may have opted against risking the right back in ordinary circumstances, but a lack of defensive cover could prove pivotal. He is already without captain Virgil van Dijk due to suspension, with Alexander-Arnold due to take over the armband once again. Joe Gomez would usually be tasked with deputising at right back, but the England defender is already being deployed at the heart of the defence with Ibrahima Konate still nursing a knock. If Alexander-Arnold remains sidelined, then Connor Bradley could make his Premier League debut following his loan at Bolton last term. Liverpool confirmed 23-man squad for Europa League. The 23-man senior squad that Klopp will have at his disposal for the 6 group games has been named, as the Reds prepare for life outside of the Champions League for the first time since 2016. As exclusively reported by This Is Anfield's David Lynch earlier this month, Adrian has been omitted from the squad with only 17 Lister spots available, though a UEFA loophole could still see him feature in the event of long-term injury to Alisson or Kevin Kelleher. The deadline recently passed for clubs to provide their squad list to UEFA, with a maximum of 25 players permitted to be on a list of players. A minimum of 8 of those spots must be allocated to locally trained players, and a maximum of 4 can be association trained. Teams can also register an unlimited number of players on their B list, which comprises of players born on or after January 1, 2002 who have spent at least 2 years at their respective clubs. Those restrictions left Klopp with a tough decision to make, as he was required to cut 1 player from his selection following the signing of Ryan Gravenberch. Vítězslav Joros and Bobby Clark have both been listed on the squad page as part of the list, with the former deemed to be a club-trained player and the latter association-trained. Otherwise, there are no surprises in Liverpool's squad to play in the double-headers with LASK, Union SG, and Toulouse. The Reds were drawn in Group E in this season's competition and will get their campaign underway with a meeting away at LASK on September 21. Klopp will be hoping to take his side to a 5th European final in Dublin, having reached the showpiece in Basel when the side last played in the competition. Alexis MacAllister given oxygen before Argentina match. South American countries undoubtedly draw the short straw when it comes to World Cup qualifying. Every time, strong footballing nations are guaranteed to miss out. With a wealth of talent on the continent and only a limited number of spots, the 2026 edition of the World Cup has expanded, and South America now has 6 direct qualification places. But even that does not leave the process as a formality. Having joined Liverpool in the summer, Alexis MacAllister is now away with the world champions, hoping to ensure they get the chance to defend their title. Things started in acceptable fashion, with Lionel Messi delivering a 1-0 home victory over Ecuador. Argentina has now traveled to Bolivia, where it will look to make it 2 wins from 2, except there's something unique about Bolivia. Not one of the most renowned teams in South America, it nonetheless routinely trips up some of the big guns in World Cup qualifying, thanks to the extraordinary altitude of its stadia. Back in 2007, a FIFA ruling targeted high-altitude grounds, initially imposing a limit of 2,500 meters due to the increased strain on players operating in lower oxygen conditions. That was later raised to 3,000 meters, leaving just one capital city affected, La Paz, Bolivia. The ruling would ultimately be suspended, and so Bolivia continues to boast an almost unparalleled home advantage. As a result, MacAllister will take to the field at the Estadio Hernando Siles, which sits 3,637 meters above sea level, less than 4 days before Jurgen Klopp takes his Liverpool side to the rather more mundane surroundings of Wolverhampton. Klopp has already had a more general complaint about his South American players on international duty. Speaking to LFC TV, he said, "Now, international break and pretty much 48 hours after our South Americans play somewhere on the other end of the world, we will play against Wolverhampton Wanderers." But with MacAllister playing in such testing circumstances, the strain will be even worse. Remarkably, the Liverpool midfielder has been pictured with an oxygen tube ahead of the fixture, as Argentina looks to acclimatize its players to the testing conditions. Clearly, there's nothing Klopp can do about this. It would be interesting to hear his thoughts on Bolivia's stadia, given his regular defenses of player welfare, but it's a tricky issue, as any decision rendering countries unable to play in their capital city is not an especially palatable outcome, but it does mean Klopp will have a decision to make for the Wolves game. Will he play MacAllister so soon after what is set to be a grueling encounter? And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.